What's up, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. We're going to do a tarot reading for you Earth signs today. We're going to talk about love, relationships, money, finances, career, and anything else that wants to come through. Please come into the reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something or better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate, feel free to push them aside. You may want to revisit them at a later date. You can also assume they're going out to someone else. They might just resonate for you in the future. That frequently happens in tarot. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Trust your intuition above all else. Let's try and have some fun here. Let's get into it for my Earth signs. Tap into that Earth sign energy. One more good shuffle and we'll hop in. All right, Earth signs. What wants to come out for love? We usually start with love. Whoa, half the deck wants to come out. We can't do that. All right, we'll pull. Earth signs. All right. So it feels like there's someone on the line here, keeping someone warm, so to say, or whatever that expression is. I have a feeling it's the Earth sign that is sort of busy with projects, with family, with work, whatever it is. And whoever this potential suitor or person of interest is, it seems like they're really in their head about you and they're taking your busyness or as giving them the cold shoulder, like you're not interested. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think you haven't totally made up your mind yet, but what you don't realize is that if you don't make some sort of move or at least, shoot back the text and clue them in about where you're at, even if you truly are busy, and I think you are, I don't do fear-based readings, but it's almost like you're going to lose this person because they're not in a great spot. Like, to be honest, they're sort of self-sabotaging a little bit and making the worst possible assumptions. And it really does have to do with a lack of self-worth and confidence, but they're beating themselves up over why you didn't return the text or why you turned them down for the date or whatever. And I feel like my Earth signs, it's sort of like ignorance is bliss. Like, you kind of have no idea how much this person has feelings for you. So it's very easy to be like, oh yeah, we'll talk sometime next week. And then you didn't. So I feel two ways about this. Part of me is this person is not necessarily loving from the highest vibration. So I'm not necessarily encouraging you to get entangled with that sort of energy. If you're vibing high and you're good, some of you just simply, love isn't a priority. But others of you, if you are interested in this, you've met this person, they seem sane and rational and all that. They seem like they're coming from a good spot. I would encourage you to at least clue them into where you're at because they are very lost in confusion. It's very kind of Neptune cloudy energy. They said this, but they did that. And they're all up in their head. The end result is Ace of Pentacles. So it's funny. I'm sort of getting that there's two different groups of Earth signs out there. And I mean, it's possible that some of you Earth signs are in this position of waiting to hear back. If that's the case, it feels like it might be from another Earth sign, but it ends with Ace of Pentacles, which is positive, but for some of you, the positive result is that it just wasn't the one, and some of you maybe intuitively know it too. So what is this person going to do? Knight of Pentacles, they're slow to approach, or you're slow to approach. So there is forward movement. So it's funny, I just did a reading for air signs, and there was kind of a similar message of if you can practice patience and kind of meditate and just relax a little bit and not self-sabotage by manifesting all this negative energy around it, I think this person will move forward and ask you out or make plans or make good on their promise to go out again. But in the meantime, it's this person is just spinning out. But yeah, the Knight of Pentacles into the Ace of Pentacles means I think this will result in a date or a meetup. Or for some of you, maybe this is a job opportunity, right? If you're the person who's applied and you're I thought I did great at the interview, but I haven't heard back. I think it will end positively. But in the meantime, I think this is a really good lesson in not just patience, but in sort of understanding the power of your thoughts and what it is that you allow yourself to think and believe and speak out loud to the universe. That's what you manifest. So, I mean, you have no reason not to think the best and positive results because ultimately you're going to get what is in alignment with your future and what is meant to be. So it's chill pill. It's like we just got to relax a little bit. And I don't know if I'm speaking to the cross watcher or the earth sign, but that's kind of the energy coming through here. So why is this person all up in their head? I mean, it has to do with fear, anxiety, a lack of confidence. What is the best thing for me to... You have the moon. Again, foggy, like Neptune energy, confusion. Piscean energy too, so sort of that idealistic, hopeless romantic, hopelessly in love, falling for people. What is that on like the first date? Love at first sight. That's sort of what I'm getting there. Yeah, Eight of Wands, it's like this person feels so deeply that Eight of Wands, they just want to move forward with it. Like there's no patience. It's like, I feel this, and so I need to act on my emotions. It's like, it's like Buddy the Elf. It's like, I'm in love and I don't care who knows it. And he's like, spinning around in Times Square or whatever it is, right? It's that there's like a playful, fun energy to this, but there's also the flip side of that where when the feelings aren't matched, or there's like confusion or delay or hesitation in that kind of energy that they're feeling, they kind of sink into that negative side of the Piscean emotion where it's a little bit more like the undertow, where you get caught in it and it's very overwhelming and it can be very depressing and heavy. So err with caution if this is the person you're dealing with. I think they really like you, and that in itself is a tremendous form of flattery, right, for my earth signs. But at the same time, I do have a little bit of hesitation of if this person is in a good spot to fully engage in like a mature relationship and understanding people's boundaries. So it's not the end of the world. You can't date this person, but I think eventually there may have to be a conversation of like, are we on the same page for sure? Because right now the energies are not matched. It's not that you guys don't chill and vibe and bond in a good way, but in terms of like the commitment factor or how all in are we, those are in very different places, because this other person seems to be vibing high, but they're vibing high in work projects, in hobbies, in self-care, in their health ritual, in, fill in the blank. I like that vibe. I don't think they need to change it. If anything, this might be a lesson for possibly my earth sign, whoever this is, to open up more about their emotions. I don't think you're trying to be deceitful or misleading. I think maybe you just don't always communicate that. So you can't make the assumption that this person knows where you're at, because I promise you they don't. They are very worried that you have someone else or that you forgot about them. So, there's that. But yeah, this sort of frantic energy of why didn't they text me back, that can't go on forever. So if you are the cross watcher watching on your earth sign and this is making sense to you, you definitely need to open up and have like a mature conversation about where you're at and how invested you are, because you're going to get the answer fast, and I think you have no reason not to be honest and open with this person. Fear of losing them and therefore holding back or biting your tongue, that's not a good way to approach this, because there's going to be a lot more agony in it. And again, I think the irony here is you're both going to be like pleasantly surprised. I think this energy here is going to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm sorry I didn't text you that, that other day I, something came up and I kind of forgot. Like it was innocent. It wasn't malicious. And then I think you're going to be like, I had no idea how much you were hoping for me to text you. Like, thank you for letting me know, whatever that is. And then I think this person's going to be relieved that, again, it wasn't like I don't like you, so I just went dark on you. It's like, shit came up. I was busy, and there needs to be a respect for that, but better communication. Because let's be honest, that's what we're missing here. There's not a lot of good sword energy. So communication can fix this. Hip, hip, hooray. All is right in the world. In terms of long term with this, hey, Six of Cups, that's cute. So, okay, there's a childlike sensibility about one of the energies here that is very intoxicating and fun and just kind of spur of the moment, let's go out and dance in the rainstorm. It's very, and I know some of you earth signs are like, ew, what? But some of you, it's like there's a part of this person where their childlike innocence or I'll even say slight immaturity, part of that is very different and foreign to you. And so there is this attraction to, oh my God, how do they live their life like that? And that's so cool. But also when you peel back the layers, there's part of that that is problematic. And so that is for certain going to be a topic of conversation if you choose to pursue this long term. With the Six of Cups to the Standing Stone, which is justice, there's a level of maturity that needs to come into this relationship. And so we really kind of weigh things out and get more centered, more balanced, more even keeled. You might be dealing with a Libra or a Scorpio, it's possible, or a Virgo. It's funny, I feel like I called you air signs earlier, and I'm sorry if I did. Maybe I didn't, but I still have air fresh in my mind, and I do have a couple air signs coming through here, so that could be why. But anyway, so then the Five of Pentacles, that's a challenging energy, and that's why I say, like, there is going to be some sobering elements to this otherwise sort of playfully romantic, idyllic, storybook romance. Mercury and Taurus, like, we need to talk about, like, the real shit. We need to talk about, like, the substance behind this. We can't just coast on this. Let's go to the fair. Let's go to the mall. Let's go to the concert. Let's, stay in bed all weekend. Like, part of that is fun. And I'm not saying you can't enjoy that part of it, but I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to offend anyone, no matter what party you are. There is an element to this energy here, the one who's all up in their head, where this relationship serves them as a crutch to get through other stuff in their life that is very unhappy. And so, everybody needs things that make them happy. But if they're searching for happiness external to them and in another person, that's where they're going to set themselves up for not success, the opposite, failure. And I don't want to say failure, but I'm worried that in the long term, this is going to be a harsh reality check for this person, that seeking happiness in a relationship isn't going to fix all the other stuff going on in their life. So again, am I saying this person needs to stay single and not pursue relationships? Of course not. But with Libra energy coming through, it's like there needs to be a balance and an understanding that this is a fun avenue, a playful, enjoyable thing in their life, but it can't always take priority over the important matters, right? The Mercury and Taurus stuff, paying the bills, going to the job, whatever it is, the stuff that, you need to survive. It could also, sorry, I'm going in a couple different directions here. There's going to be some harsh conversations, and I don't mean harsh in terms of like, breaking up, but like some kind of brutally honest conversations, because I think this energy is just coming from a different standpoint. Their life seems to be a little bit less chaotic, a very earthy energy, like, priorities in order, everything in due time, it's slow and steady wins the race, and you seem to be winning the race. So I like that. This energy is a little bit more all over the place. It's fun, it's chaotic, it's sometimes frantic, it's emotional ups and downs. I would be surprised if this person didn't have maybe some strong water in their chart, maybe like a watery moon, and also sort of being aspected by kind of a planet right now that's kind of taking its toll. Like there's lessons of maturity that need to be learned here. And this might be a relationship where you really open this person's eyes to some things that are maybe uncomfortable for them to look at. And that's not a reason to shy away from it, but you do have to be prepared to have some very honest conversations with each other. The last thing I'm going to say about this is this relationship, as fun and beautiful as it is, someone may be overspending just to maintain this relationship. If one of the energies doesn't have a job or isn't, is barely paying rent or whatever it is, but you're going out every weekend spending money, like there's a couple reasons why this relationship is not on the most solid standing to start. I'm not saying it couldn't be, but yeah, if you're willing to go at this and learn some valuable lessons, and don't get me wrong, it's going to be fun. But it's fun peppered with some harsh, harsh truths, harsh realities. Then, have a whack at it. See how it goes. That sounded kind of dirty when I said that. Have a go at it. You know what I mean. All right, let's put some romance angels on that. I'm going to do another love reading. This seemed a little bit specific, so I know it's not for all of you out there, but again, maybe it'll make sense later. Also, do keep in mind, sometimes these energies come in and it's not directly impacting you. This could be something your friend is going through, right? And sometimes it's like you hear it because you're going to be like the voice of wisdom, right? That the person who has good judgment and can offer some solid advice or something like that. I'm just saying, keep an open mind. All right, soulmate. Yes, this is a soulmate. I agree with that. I don't think in life we have just one soulmate. That's just a personal belief I have. But there is something karmic about this relationship where you two are brought together because you are so very different. And with that, there's something extremely valuable each person can learn from one another. There is no right or wrong person in this. It's just simply who you are and how you've been sort of programmed or how you've been sort of acting, up until this point in your life. And with this, that's what I mean. There's a beautiful contrast. But there's a push-pull. Some of it is a little bit uncomfortable, and it's going to pull you out of your shell and get you to communicate things and also examine parts of your own life. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. One person in this relationship may have just gotten a promotion or made a very big sale, and so they're having to sort of tie up loose ends with that. There is some sort of work project going on that's taking a lot of time, but I see it being a very happy addition or a happy circumstance, coincidence, whatever it is. And then keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type. And then wedding, this situation involves marriage. Interesting. So some of you, this may actually be a narrative of your past. It's possible that you're married to a person that's kind of like this. And I don't know, maybe this is just kind of reminiscing of just how far you've come, or re-establishing that appreciation for sort of that opposites attract and how much you guys both bring to the table, but in totally different realms and spheres. I don't know. There we are. And some of you, I feel like this is your sibling, and you may be in the wedding, and I feel like you're having doubts about this. I don't know if you're part of the wedding party is what I'm trying to say, but you're kind of like, I hope this works out. And so that sort of was my point earlier. It's like, you may step in and offer someone some helpful advice or guidance, right? Maybe. I'm just putting it out there. All right, more love and relationships. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I really have air signs in my head right now, so I feel like they're all over that reading. Some air signs may be cross-watching on their Earth sign. All right, refocusing our energy. Let's do another narrative for the Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Nine of Pentacles, love it. The Knight of Wands. All right, so some of you had like a hot hookup or hot sex, and now you're kind of waiting to hear back. It may have been with a Pisces or a Sagittarius. Where are we at with that? Or it doesn't have to be hooking up, but like romance, passion, something really, intense flirtation or, but I'm going to stick with what I said originally too. Some of you, there was like a really strong magnetic kind of sexual connection. I'm getting too much information here. I'm like, they left you feeling exhausted? Okay, I'm going to stop there. I don't need to know any more of the details there. Thank you, Spirit. I feel like I'm peeking in on things that are too intimate. Oh, this is a really similar story, though. So why are they not getting back, or why are they leaving you hanging? And I'm not saying they necessarily are long-term. I need to look at this more. The Hanged Man to the Three of Pentacles. And so here's the thing. I don't know if they're looking for exclusivity yet. This does feel very much like unexpected, spontaneous, like you met one night and ended up going home together. Of course, that's not going to be for all of you, but I am sort of getting that vibe. And I'm not judging it yet because I don't know enough about it. I think the universe right now is saying it hasn't necessarily been determined what's going to happen yet. This isn't fated or written in stone. It kind of has that kind of Uranian energy of like shocking twists and unexpected surprises, and like it's hard to anticipate where this is going to go because you can't predict that sort of thing. Like there's a lot of factors and a lot of people in play here. So here's what I get from this. And again, I don't know which person you are, so feel free to swap them. I'm sort of getting the idea that maybe you're the one left hanging. And I think it's because this person is healing from an ex or from a relationship that has ended, and they're not necessarily looking to lock it down in a relationship or exclusivity. I'm going to be honest, I think they're playing the field a little bit, and I don't necessarily get bad vibes from that, though, unless there was a prior conversation that I'm not seeing here where, I'm single and I'm looking to date and be exclusive. Like, I don't see that. I think it was just kind of like this fun, happenstance. And I think the universe right now is saying, so you need to enjoy that for what it was. Don't be, you know, that 8 of Swords woman who's just like, oh my God, what did it mean? And why did I do this? But like, all that is not helpful. I think part of it was in a good way meant to kind of shake you up, especially if you've been single, 9 of Pentacles, for maybe a long time. Maybe you just kind of needed to reintroduce yourself to the dating world, and things kind of took an unexpected but pleasant turn, right? Maybe, I don't think maybe you were planning for that to happen. But I think this person is taking it slow in terms of like locking anything down. I'm dancing around the term rebounding, not necessarily in terms of like they used you. And I know it probably feels like that for some of you. So my condolences. I don't think that was their intention, but I think they are looking to heal their wounds and fill their, or, make their sorrows go away by kind of proving that they still got it. And it kind of seemed like at the time you were both very open to, hey, whatever happens, happens. And so that's what happened. That's sort of what I get from this. I do think that, let's find out a little bit more about this person. And maybe this is you, Earth sign, right? Maybe you got out of a relationship. You're looking to kind of get back in the dating world. Maybe there was some passion, some flirtation, some sex, whatever. And now you're like, that was interesting. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. And the thing is, that's valid. That's okay. As long as, there wasn't a prior conversation and that people are being truthful and open and honest with each other, this person is allowed to live their life like that. But it doesn't mean that the other person should engage in it further if that makes them uncomfortable. Do you see what I'm saying? All right, so then we have King of Pentacles. Yeah. My Tauruses are like, lock it down. I love this person. I want them. I want to marry them. I want them back in my orbit. It's like, I want control over this now. Like, I experienced this beautiful passion, this lust for life, and now it's mine. The thing is, I'm not sure it is. So like just hold back, hold back a bit. Create some illusion of mystery, right? No, I'm kidding. I don't believe in playing games like that too, and like saying what you don't mean. I absolutely don't believe that. What I would advise is communication, Page of Swords. It's funny though, both people are a little bit standoffish to make the first move again. It's almost like this awkward silence between the both of you. Or like you're both waiting for the other person to make the first move, but one person is clearly like checking their phone every minute and the other person is not. There's a little bit chilly vibes on this side, because this person, even though they come off as, beautiful and sexy and, what do you call it? Casanova, however you want to say it. They're still very much nursing a wound of some kind, probably from an ex. I think they got their heart broken. Even if it wasn't recently, they're still very much, maybe some Scorpio vibes here, very much holding on to that wound and that resentment. And it's like they're trying to get it out of their system and heal it, but they're also maybe doing it in not the most healthy way of sort of like trying to F away their problems. Do you know what I mean? Again, this is sort of the reversal of what we just read for. So that's kind of what I'm getting this week. Is it doesn't seem like people are on the same page yet, but it's like in both readings, the clear solution is communication and conversation. So I'm going to do what I did before. In terms of the future, can I get like a glimpse into, we're going to switch decks. Can I get a glimpse into what is this person really looking for? The Casanova, the one who is also healing some wounds. The Star. Yeah, they I don't know if they're looking to, but they're looking to heal. And also, sometimes when the Star card comes up, it's like nudity. They're looking for a body. They're looking for someone to love them, because they're feeling a lack of love of themselves. Yeah, it's like a slow process for this person to really heal themselves. So to be honest, if you love this person, or I don't say love, but maybe you do, some of you kind of do. If you respect this person and like them enough to allow them some space to heal and you're able to give them some time, then yeah, there's maybe some potential here. But just be careful that you don't become the booty call if you're not comfortable with that. Because, I mean, this is very much towing the line of like rebounding. And I don't think that was the intent from the get-go. I don't think this person went out, I'm going to go to the bar, I'm going to get drunk, and I'm going to take anyone home. That's so not what happened. I want to give this person some credit, right? But also, I don't think they're in the highest vibration to enter into any sort of committed relationship right now. Maybe this is something that is just casual, and maybe that's going to challenge some of you earth signs to at least ask yourself the question, are you comfortable with that? And if you're not, okay. But maybe you have sort of traditional viewpoints on something that actually doesn't match the lifestyle that you're living right now. And I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just offering you suggestions, potential, what's in the cards. If this person treats you well and respects you, but isn't like a mainstay, isn't like a consistent thing every weekend, is that okay? I'm just asking the question. There is potential here. I also think there's a new offer that might come in, possibly with another Capricorn. And I think it's going to be a stronger connection maybe that allows you to walk away from this and not feel any type of way about it. Like shoulda, coulda, wouldas, that one night of hot sex or whatever, whatever happened to that person. I think it's like something else may come along that is a little bit more in alignment with what you're looking for if you are a person who likes to lock it down and put titles on things and know what it is. And I'm not hating on that, right? Sometimes that's very valuable to do. I don't think you're going to get it from this person. So you can either be patient and see what's up, but not drive yourself crazy. Or I think another opportunity will come along, I would say in a month or month or two, that's more in alignment with what you want, and it completely changes your dynamic and viewpoint on this. I don't think you walk away feeling like vengeful or used. I think you're just like, oh, all right, that was an unusual thing, but it's like in like a rom-com movie where something just silly and ridiculous happens, and like you never thought it would happen to you, and it did, and now you're part of that club, and check it off your list, right? On the bucket list or whatever. Interesting. All right, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna do something else. We'll talk about your money. I just heard babies. Somebody wants to know about babies. Okay, I'm going to read for that real quick because I do what I can. Really quick. The Seven of Cups. So some of you have been trying to get pregnant again, and there maybe have been a few disappointments, I'll say. Let's see. Six of Swords. So you moved on. Some of you need to get a second opinion or see a new fertility doctor or something about getting other advice. And it might not even be like medical advice, which I am not the person to go to for that by any means, but I'm sort of getting a second opinion. And for some of you, it has to do with some of you are very self-conscious to share your journey about this with like a friend. I don't think it's a family member. I think it's a friend. Or maybe an extended family member, I don't know, like a cousin or something. There might be some helpful advice from a person who's already in your network, possibly a coworker, who's gone through something very similar, and they could shed some light on what you're going through. And there is something helpful in that conversation. And the thing is, I think some of you have already been doing the reading online, but it's almost like it's so overwhelming because anything you read on the internet will immediately be contradicted by something else. You know what I mean? Like there's so much out there. It's hard to kind of use discernment on what's going to work for you. Because it's someone in your life, it's almost like the universe is sort of guiding this conversation to happen so that you can at least have some sort of, I don't know if it's an epiphany or a light bulb moment, but something helpful will come to you. Messages are going to come your way, but you have to be a little bit open to sharing that journey that you're going through. And it is a little bit sensitive, right? It makes you feel a little bit vulnerable. Yeah, look at that though. But then there's a really strong partnership and pairing here. And I think that means in terms of the person who's going to come in as like I don't know if they're a mentor, but you know what I mean? It could be a doctor who offers something new, whatever it is. But I also think it's saying you guys as a couple who are trying to get pregnant or adopt, whatever it is, stay strong because there is hope there. Don't give up hope. But yeah, it's a little bit, I don't know if delayed is the right word. It's not happening right now for a reason, but that doesn't mean it's not ever going to happen. So please don't lose hope, faith, joy, happiness in life. Enjoy what you do have in life and let it happen organically. When the time is right, things are going to turn for the better. Look, it's a victory. Something about the Cancerian energy, motherhood energy, but also Cancer, let's see, is the end of June into like mid-ish July. You may want to try and get pregnant there. It could be that a future child that you have is a Cancerian. Something about Cancerian energy, or the person you connect with may have strong Cancer in their chart. Again, something about seeing, for some of you, it may have to do with getting a second opinion from a different doctor. Yeah, because there's something you're doing that isn't working, and that's going to be highlighted for you guys. Not that you need to worry about that, but it's something that you can walk away from that's like, oh, we were so invested in this or doing that, and it turns out we didn't even need that in the first place. Anyway, that's what I get for that storyline. Okay, I feel like this is a long video. It is. Okay, we're actually going to talk about money, I swear. Career, money, and finances. Wheel of Fortune, you guys, earth signs. It's fire. Money is fire. Yeah, things are turning in a positive direction. Some of you are being very cautious with your money right now because you're saving for a big expenditure, especially a big trip, planning a big trip for your future. And I think you're wise to do so. If you don't have to spend extra money, that's good, because you're going to want to go on whatever this is, a retreat. It could be off to school. There's something that's going to require you to spend a big chunk of money. You might be buying a house or saving, I don't know, for a future child, whatever it is. You're going to be glad that you have that extra money. So, you know, earth signs are typically always pretty cautious with their money, but the universe is saying, yeah, like it'll be worth it. So like penny pinch a little bit if you can. Yeah, I see you living very comfortably. If you don't have good savings now, I think that's going to be more of a focus in the coming months. And the thing is, you're really going to enjoy the peace of mind you have knowing that there's money in your bank account versus going out and spending it on all the stuff you want. There's something changing. And if you relate to that, right? That's not everyone, but if you relate to that sort of, yeah, like every time I see something new on the internet, I have to go and buy it or whatever. There's peace of mind that comes with you being like, okay, good. I don't really need that. We have enough. There's also an element of mystery here of something that you're going to want to spend your money on. And it's not soon. I want to reiterate that. This might be in a year from now. And I don't know why I'm telling you this. It's just coming up. Yeah, there's something very exciting to you that would either help your career forward or just bring a lot of enjoyment and ease to your life. For some of you, it's a baby. It's like family planning. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean. There's some element that you're not really aware of right now that is going to require a big sum of money in your future. And again, it's like you're going to be really grateful you have that nest egg. And the thing is, you don't need to worry about, well, how do I know if it's the right thing to spend it on? Like, you will absolutely know. There won't even be a question. Like some big opportunity. Again, it might be a trip, like a dream trip. You know, maybe your whole family is going to Europe or whatever it is for you. There's something where when it comes along, you're going to be glad you have that nest egg and you're going to be like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, take my money. It'll be that type of thing where you just know, intuitively that's what you've been saving for. I don't know why babies are coming through so strongly for all my earth signs. Again, if it's not your storyline, it might be happening around you. It could be, you know, your sister. It could be a coworker. Something about babies is in the air here. The idea of nesting, building a future nursery, or like, you know, creating that space where, you know, your baby's room is going to be, painting the walls, looking online, creating a baby registry. I don't know why that's coming through in your career and money, but it is. So if some of you are looking to get pregnant, it may happen sooner than you think, in which case maybe it's coming up in terms of planning out how that's going to affect your work and impact your work. So for those, let's move away from that storyline. So for those who are not, babies are not on the horizon, what else can I tell my earth signs? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, career, money, and finances. All right. So big changes happening at work, transformations and new beginnings happening at work. Okay. So collaboration with a new team. It could be a new coworker is joining the team and you're going to be working very closely with them. especially for those who work in creative careers, photography, painting, anything that has an element of creativity. Of course, that's not going to be all of you. Also, the idea of children is going to factor into it, especially something about a marketing technique, marketing to children or using children in an advertisement or a poster or or I don't know, something like a childlike name or childlike lingo. I have no idea what that is. But anyway, that might be the key ingredient to something that has to do with this big change or transformation. For something about a line of clothing too, and now you're going to cater to younger people or incorporate children. This is so random, you guys. I don't even know. Anyway. This does have to do with your money. It's more of like, it's not a metaphor. It's a sound piece of advice, which is that some of you just need to like talk to a child again and remember what that's like. Some of you are really in your head about your career and things just aren't moving and progressing the way you want it to. And it has to do with, it feels like a scene in a movie. Like, this is going to sound kind of cheesy, but I actually do like this message. It's like, you just got to like sit on a bench with like your niece and nephew and be like, hey, what's new in your life? Just to put things in perspective. We're talking like someone who's like under 10. You need to just sit and chill with like someone who's very just open to like life's creative energy and has that sort of just youthful, fun, innocent, childlike spirit. Because it's going to get you back in touch with why you started this thing in the first place. It's almost become so muddled and like stretched thin because there's all these worries now, well, what about the healthcare package? And what about the benefits? And, well, what about this allocation of money? And this, like, it's become this monster that you don't feel like is yours anymore or that you have control over. And so some of you might be due for a career change. Others of you, it's not necessarily that you have to change. It has to do with like an internal change in how you choose to view and process this. Because you're just not enjoying it the way you used to. And that's why there's this like, talking to kids who want to be an astronaut when they grow up, or they want to be a movie star, or they want to be, ridiculous things. They want to be a waitress or a librarian. It doesn't matter, right? It's that sort of joy of what could be and sort of the idea of, I want to help people and I want to do this and I want to use this tool. Some of you need to like get back in touch with your inner child, and it's going to sort of reinvigorate your enthusiasm for what you do. And it's also going to give you clues to how you can help restructure or reorder or reallocate. I'm getting those words, which is very Mercury retrograde. So I think Mercury goes retrograde, I want to say at the end of the month. Maybe early September. Y'all are going to have to look it up. But anyway, when Mercury goes retrograde, that's a good time to sort of like do some reflecting and some small minor changes. Not a great time to get a new job, but you understand. And in terms of money, 6 of Wands. So I see recognition. I see some sort of accomplishment. I don't know if it comes with money though. Queen of Pentacles. I don't know, maybe it does. So money is still in flux. There's a position or an opportunity that I think some of you may be applying for that has a bigger salary or a bigger paycheck. I do like these cards. They're very positive. Like if I'm just reading, how's money looking, and I get 6 of Wands and Queen of Pentacles, I would say very good. But for some reason, I'm just getting like intuitively that there's a delay. It sort of feels like that idea of someone's like dangling a carrot in front of you, but it's not quite yours yet to like chomp on and enjoy. So it's like the potential is there. It feels like your boss keeps promising you that promotion, or they keep mentioning that you should apply for this, but it's either like you haven't quite found the time to do it, or it's like that position just hasn't quite opened up yet. And so someone's keeping you warm. And I don't think they're doing it to play with you and, make you go crazy. And I understand, I think it is making you crazy a little bit. I do think this person is loyal to you and to what they say, but part of it is a little bit out of their control. So again, you got to be patient. You got to give it time. You have to manifest with positivity, act like it's already in your life, and that's what will be. There's like a little bit of a delay here. Venus right now is in retrograde, which probably accounts for a lot of this too, in terms of money delays and money frustrations. Some of you are going to have to spend extra money on a pet. Some of you may be getting a new pet, which is very joyful and fun. You may be getting like a dog or a cat, a bird, a fish, whatever. You may be getting something really interesting like, I don't know, like alpacas. Some of you are on like a farm. I don't know. Alpacas or donkeys or chickens. I don't know. Some of you are going to spend a lot of money on the farm, whatever that means. That might be a metaphor too. Of course, I know that's not for everyone. Spending money on pets, though, is coming through. That's an important message. Some of you have to put your pet on a special diet because it's like their digestive system is super wonky and sensitive. Others of you, there may be like a vet bill. And again, having that what do they call it? That nest, that savings, that goose egg or whatever, that extra money just in case. You'll be grateful that you have it. I don't see anything scary happening with the pet. It's just like an unexpected vet bill, or prices have gone up, or you're just like, wow, that was an unexpected cost. And then the Seven of Pentacles. And then, yeah, some of you are contemplating moving to save money. So I'm going to end on that. Let's see. What can I tell those? It could be that you're just living in a really expensive city, or that your landlord has raised the rent, or that, you know, whatever, tax bills are just out of control. Those who are thinking of uprooting themselves, moving. What can I tell those about moving? The Hierophant. All right, Taurian energy. It's not fast moving, I can tell you that. Yeah, some of you have like a shitty landlord for sure. Someone who's like, they totally has their head up their own, you know what? Don't like that energy. It's like you're, or whoever you're dealing with in terms of house payments, it's like they see themselves as like a godlike figure, like their voice is the word of God, and like there's just no negotiating there. So if you're trying to strike a deal on like an apartment that is in your means and budgetary restrictions, I don't see now being a great time for that. However, Ten of Pentacles. Again, the baby thing. For some of you, the time is going to come when you know that you're ready to start a family, and that should be the reason you move, because you need an extra room or a bigger space to start a family. Or if your family grows. Some of you may already have kids, of course. That's going to be the reason, more so than like I'm trying to save a few bucks on rent. Not that that isn't a valid reason, and you can be looking, but I would caution you during Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, which are going to kind of coincide for about a week or two. I'm sorry, I don't know the dates. It's like, it's in September-ish. Yeah, I would hunker down for at least another month or two and then start looking, because right now it's like a very stuck energy. And yeah, I don't like your landlord or whoever this is. I totally understand. But there may be a job opportunity that finally comes about where you're like, you know what? I have a lot more financial freedom than I thought. Now that I finally have this raise or this promotion, now I'm going to find an even better place because I can actually afford it. So all is well that ends well. And this definitely ends well. But yeah, there's a little bit of like hunker down and persist a little bit longer. Hang in there, because I think things do get better. Oh my God, this has been such a long reading. We're going to do these quick oracle cards, and we are going to wrap it. My earth signs are the most patient, though, so some of you probably made it through the whole video. I appreciate you. Remember to like the video, guys. That really helps me. Leave a comment, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't. All right, earth signs. Kindness changes everything. That came out in the air sign reading, too. Whoops. Let's see. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. I love that. Every day is another chance. And if nothing nothing changes if nothing changes. I like that. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Sending you all the best, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.